Have you ever felt an invisible shield around you? One so powerful that even your enemies sense it. As the world watches in awe, people are coming to realize that certain individuals are set apart, protected by a force beyond human understanding. The truth is spreading swiftly. Crossing a chosen one is not only unwise, it's met with consequences as potent as they are divine. You, as a chosen one, don't stand alone in this world. God Himself has established a shield around you, a divine boundary that wards off those who plot against you, leaving them powerless before your presence. Faith is the invisible barrier surrounding you, a presence so tangible that it sends a message before any words are spoken. This isn't merely an abstract belief, but a fortified wall that no ill intent can cross. God's protection envelops you in a way that signals your untouchable nature to those who might dare oppose you. This boundary is so profound that it does more than protect. It holds the power to repel, like a flame around a precious object that burns any hand attempting to reach through. The strength of this divine shield is unmistakable to everyone, friend and foe alike. It's an aura that marks you as different, someone whose path isn't dictated by earthly rules alone. The chosen ones are set apart, and God's will acts as a guardian, ensuring that no weapon formed against them can prosper. People sense it on an instinctual level, like an unseen signal that sends ripples through the space around you. What's directed at you falters. Harm intended for you dissipates before it ever has a chance to reach. With each act of faith, this protective force around you grows stronger. Faith isn't just belief, it's a partnership with God, reinforcing that shield with every prayer, every moment of trust. Your faith creates a powerful deterrent, warning those who even consider an attack. Attempts to breach this protection lead nowhere because faith transforms that intention into a boomerang, sending it right back to the source. Harm cannot touch the chosen ones because God has made sure of it. Harm intended for you doesn't simply vanish into thin air. It reverberates and returns with greater strength to those who send it your way. This divine principle of karma ensures that ill will directed toward a chosen one is met not just with equivalent resistance, but with amplified consequences. Think of it as God's way of evening the scales, of showing that attempts to harm a chosen one will always rebound, leaving the sender in turmoil. This isn't just retribution, it's divine balance in action, ensuring that those who challenge you face the reality of their own actions. The double karma principle serves as a powerful reminder that your path is under protection, and it amplifies the consequences of any hostile intention. It's a phenomenon that can't be ignored, one that marks a chosen one with a level of respect and caution. Harmful intentions set against you carry their own punishment, not as an act of revenge, but as a natural outcome. People quickly learn that challenging a chosen one comes at a cost, a price they might not be willing to pay. Over time, even skeptics recognize this undeniable force. It's as if a spiritual law is woven into the fabric of your existence, ensuring that every harmful act meets its match. The intentions behind each act directed at you return to the sender, magnified. People see it happen to others who tried and failed to stand in your way, and they understand that coming against you is a choice with serious, irreversible consequences. Stories of divine protection spread far and wide, spoken quietly but with certainty. The power of these stories lies not only in the events themselves, but in the pattern they reveal, one of relentless, unyielding protection over the chosen ones. People begin to see what happens when someone goes up against you and fails, when misfortunes strike those who attempted harm. Such tales spread as a warning to anyone considering interference with your path. These messages move from person to person, from place to place, faster than one could imagine. People begin to share these tales, not out of malice or fear, but as a reminder of the power that surrounds you. They may not know the full extent of this divine protection, but they know enough to avoid stepping too close. The word is out. Harming you, or even thinking of such harm, has repercussions that extend beyond human control. And as these stories spread, they carry with them a force that solidifies your standing, making clear the divine backing you possess. Even without speaking, your presence becomes a statement, a message that God's chosen are protected, that God's justice is swift, and that those who plot against you will pay the price. There's no need to prove this power. Those who come close enough to sense it already understand what it means. Those who once eyed you with ill intentions now look away, aware of the unforeseen costs that come with crossing a chosen one. They have witnessed the outcome of even minor slights against you, and understand that every attempt carries a heavy price. Whether it's witnessing a downfall, a sudden turn of bad luck, or personal loss, they see the chain reaction set off when they act against someone under divine protection. There's a shift in the way people interact with you. They may not fully grasp why, but they sense that challenging you could bring them consequences they're not ready to handle. Even the boldest of individuals hesitate, knowing that you're not protected by luck or chance, but by a force they can't control. This awareness acts as a shield in itself, repelling those who would consider ill-intended moves. When people realize that harm intended for you rebounds with twice the impact, they begin to value self-preservation over rivalry. Their recognition of this truth changes the way they see you, and it keeps many at a safe distance. Your spiritual strength is undeniable, and while some may still attempt to challenge it, most step back, choosing peace over inevitable turmoil. Fear is a potent deterrent, especially when it's rooted in something as powerful as divine justice. Even those who claim to be fearless feel the weight of this presence, sensing an almost tangible resistance when they think of harming you. They may not admit it out loud, but the fear of what they cannot see, yet know to be real, makes them second-guess any harmful intentions. Divine retribution isn't just a concept for the faithful. It's a reality that everyone, regardless of belief, can feel. When harm is attempted against a chosen one, this retribution manifests swiftly and unmistakably. The force behind it is such that even the most determined individuals feel a palpable dread, knowing that their actions are being met with consequences from a source far beyond their understanding. This fear is what keeps many from ever taking that first step against you. It's the awareness that they're not just facing you, but the divine force protecting you. In this way, God's presence is felt even by those who may not seek it, creating a boundary around you that is not only respected, but feared. You've likely seen it firsthand, people keeping their distance, even changing paths to avoid an encounter. These aren't coincidences, but responses to the strength of your spiritual energy. They know that the outcomes of past actions are real, that the price for challenging you is not worth paying. Each individual who distances themselves does so because they recognize the force surrounding you. Those who have tested these boundaries know all too well the consequences of attempting to disrupt your peace. They've watched as their own lives took sudden turns, misfortunes mounting in ways they can't explain. It's a phenomenon they might try to ignore, but the reality remains. Every attempt against you is met with repercussions that ripple through their lives in undeniable ways. For those who continue to challenge you, the lesson is always clear and unavoidable. Your divine protection isn't selective or conditional, it's constant, creating a field of safety and resilience that no one can penetrate. This understanding prompts people to back away, driven not only by fear, but by respect for the spiritual power they know surrounds you. God's shield around you is unbreakable, a boundary reinforced by divine energy that rejects negativity and harm alike. This isn't mere belief. It's a force that fills every space you inhabit, impenetrable to any form of ill will. Those who attempt to breach this protection find their intentions dissipated before they even come close. It's an invisible wall, yet stronger than any physical barrier, ensuring that no harm can come to you. This shield doesn't just block harm, it repels it, sending it back toward the sender with a force they can't withstand. It's a reflection of God's unwavering protection, a statement that no harm can touch you without first passing through the divine. Those who attempt to break this shield quickly realize that their efforts are futile, as nothing can penetrate the boundary set by God Himself. If you feel this shield, if you know you've been fortified by a divine protection that deflects every threat, you need to join the Obsidian Inner Order, powered by Astral Atom. This isn't just a space to grow, It's where you learn to wield the shield you carry with precision and strength. If you're ready to deepen your awareness of this power and truly embody the divine authority within, the link is in the description. In every encounter, in every space you enter, there's an assurance of protection that cannot be dismissed. You carry an aura that others can sense, a presence that reassures you and warns others. This divine presence is a constant reminder that God is by your side, that you are never alone, and that your steps are watched and guarded at all times. The strength of this divine presence goes beyond what others see or feel. It's the undeniable knowledge that you are accompanied by a force greater than yourself. Even in moments of vulnerability, this presence surrounds you, a reminder that no matter what you face, you have the backing of a divine protector. It's an energy so profound that it fills every room you walk into, a signal to anyone watching that you are not to be taken lightly. This divine presence doesn't waver or weaken. It strengthens with every act of faith, every step you take in purpose. God's presence isn't just a distant force. It's with you in every decision, every challenge, and every victory. The impact of this protection is so significant that anyone who encounters it knows instantly you are set apart, safeguarded by a divine force that defies any threat. Those who come close to challenging you feel it. There's a spiritual resistance, a force that stops them in their tracks. It's more than fear. It's the unmistakable sensation that they're up against something far beyond their control. This resistance is a testament to the power surrounding you, an unspoken message that warns them to turn away. Attempting to harm a chosen one is like walking into a storm, the intensity growing the closer they come. Potential attackers find themselves overpowered, even if they don't understand why. Their intentions, no matter how strong, are no match for the divine shield protecting you. This spiritual resistance doesn't just deter, it prevents creating a boundary that they cannot cross. For those who insist, the consequence is a reminder of the force they're up against. They realize that their attempts will never reach you, that harm intended for you will never find its way. The divine resistance surrounding you is an ever-present reminder that no weapon against you will succeed, a boundary so strong it leaves those who dare test it shaken and defeated. God's protection doesn't just shield, it actively warns those who might plot against a chosen one. Divine warnings manifest in various ways, through sudden realizations, haunting dreams, or unmistakable signs. Those who come close to challenging you experience a sense of foreboding that's impossible to ignore, as if their spirit itself is pulling them back from danger. These warnings are more than signs. They're acts of mercy, a final chance for those with harmful intentions to reconsider before they face irreversible consequences. The power of these warnings is unmistakable, leaving even the boldest individuals questioning their plans. They might brush it off initially, but the warnings repeat, persist, intensifying with each step they take against you. These signals are felt on a deep, almost subconscious level, a reminder that they're walking into a reality where divine justice reigns supreme. God's communication is clear and undeniable. The path they're considering will lead only to their own downfall. Every chosen one has experienced the impact of these divine warnings on others. You see the hesitation, the look in someone's eye when they realize they're standing on sacred ground. They may not know the full extent of what they're dealing with, but they feel the pressure, the invisible force that warns them to step back. This isn't just a deterrent, it's a boundary that only the spiritually blind would dare to cross. Yet some persist, ignoring every sign and dismissing the warnings, convinced that they're untouchable. But ignoring God's signals doesn't make them less real. Each ignored warning compounds the consequences, like storm clouds gathering until they're ready to unleash. Those who ignore divine warnings experience a chain of setbacks and challenges, a response to their defiance that they can't escape. God's justice is patient but unrelenting. The signs may have been clear, yet those who ignore them find themselves overwhelmed by a reality they could have avoided. Each missed signal only tightens the web of karma they've created, drawing them into their own undoing. To ignore a divine warning is to choose self-inflicted chaos. an act of defiance that only leads to ruin. Even those disconnected from faith cannot escape the consequences of ignoring God's signs. A sense of unease settles into their life, unsettling their plans and disrupting their peace. They find themselves trapped by their own decisions, surrounded by a force that can't be controlled or defied. Divine warnings are never given in vain, and those who dismiss them learn the weight of that truth. For many, the warnings from God are so profound that they become aware of their own spiritual limitations. Those who attempt harm sense the presence of a divine force, even if they claim no belief. It's an unsettling awareness, as if their spirit itself is rejecting the notion of challenging you. This awareness, whether understood or not, speaks to the power protecting you, a force that transcends all human intention. People realize that attempting harm against a chosen one feels unnatural, even dangerous, as if they're up against something far more powerful than they anticipated. It's an awareness that leaves them hesitant, uncertain, and ultimately deterred. The sense of foreboding is their spirit recognizing the divine energy surrounding you, a warning that's felt on a level they cannot ignore. Even if they attempt to push forward, this spiritual awareness acts as a roadblock. They find their own motivations weakening, their plans faltering, unable to muster the energy to proceed. They might call it intuition, a gut feeling, or even bad luck. But deep down, they know they are up against something divine, something that cannot be crossed. This awareness is not just a feeling. It's a message from God, warning them to turn away while they still can. Karma for those who attempt to harm a chosen one is intensified, coming back twofold. This isn't just a vague threat. It's a law of spiritual reality. Harm meant for you finds its way back to its sender with a force they can't prepare for, striking twice as hard as intended. This double impact isn't accidental. It's the divine justice that ensures harm intended for a chosen one is met with magnified consequences. People quickly learn that even the smallest harm they intend for you carries a weight they can't bear. Karma's double impact manifests through events that leave them reeling, as if every action they took against you returns multiplied, pressing upon them in ways they never imagined. This is the weight of divine balance, of God's law, ensuring that justice is served, and that no action against a chosen one goes unanswered. The force of karma doesn't only impact their lives, it changes them, leaves them humbled and, in many cases, regretful. They see their own intentions come back to them, their lives reflecting the very negativity they sought to place upon you. And through this impact, they learn a lesson that echoes beyond just your life. They understand that crossing a chosen one brings consequences they can't escape or undo. The real-life consequences of karma's double impact are undeniable. Setbacks, sudden losses, and inexplicable challenges arise for those who intended harm toward you. It's as if their own life turns against them, every step becoming harder, every effort met with obstacles. This isn't coincidence. It's a direct result of the intentions they once harbored against you, now rebounding and affecting every corner of their life. People who have crossed paths with chosen ones often find themselves grappling with this reality. They face challenges that seem to come out of nowhere, difficulties they can't explain. Friends may leave, resources dry up, or health issues surface, all consequences that echo the harm they once intended for you. It's a lesson in humility, a powerful reminder that karma spares no one, and every action finds its way back to the sender. As they navigate these challenges, they understand that their misfortunes are tied to their intentions. Each setback, each loss, is a mirror of their past actions, and they realize too late that harm intended for a chosen one never goes unanswered. Through their struggles, they gain a new awareness, a respect for the divine law that governs karma and protects those under God's watchful eye. For chosen ones, karma is more than a defense mechanism. It's a confirmation of their faith's strength. Each instance of doubled karma acts as a reminder that God's protection is not only real but active, shaping the reality around them. This amplifies the chosen one's faith, reinforcing their belief that they walk with divine authority, shielded from harm by forces beyond their control. With every attempt against you that is met with double karma, your faith is validated. This protection becomes a visible reality, a daily reminder that God stands guard over your life. People who may not believe in divine protection are left stunned by the consistency of karma's response, and even those who once doubted see your strength confirmed through these experiences. The impact of karma goes beyond just protection. It strengthens your resolve, building a confidence rooted in knowing that God's justice is not theoretical but tangible. Each instance of doubled karma empowers you to continue your path unshaken, knowing that your faith not only protects but shields you with an impenetrable armor that grows stronger with every test. Stories of divine protection spread with a life of their own. People talk, tales circulate, and soon your reputation becomes known far beyond your reach. You don't need to prove your strength or your faith. Others speak of it for you, creating a legacy of respect that warns anyone who might consider challenging you. The truth travels faster than any lie, and your reputation as one protected by God reaches even those who haven't met you. This divine reputation isn't built on rumors or exaggerations. It's based on real experiences, on the evidence people have seen of what happens to those who attempt harm. Friends and strangers alike carry these stories forward, sharing the undeniable truth that chosen ones are under God's guard, shielded by a force no human can penetrate. Your reputation alone becomes a barrier, a reminder to others that you are untouchable. People instinctively know better than to test a chosen one. Even those who might not believe in God or divine protection feel a need to pause, sensing that your reputation is more than just stories. It's a living testament to the protection that surrounds you, a reality that commands respect and caution in every encounter. With each story shared, respect for you grows. People see you not just as an individual but as someone marked by divine authority, someone who carries a presence that demands acknowledgement. This respect isn't granted lightly. It's earned by the force of God's protection over your life. The knowledge of your divine shield becomes widespread, drawing a boundary that even the boldest won't dare to cross. Over time, this respect solidifies your place among those who know your story. They understand that your path isn't open for interference, that you walk with a purpose beyond human comprehension. This reverence grows, an unspoken acknowledgement of the divine power that guides your steps, a recognition that serves as a safeguard in itself. Being respected by many isn't about fame or influence. It's about the awareness that you carry something sacred. People recognize that harming or challenging you would mean more than just a personal attack. It would be an act against divine will. This respect creates a community around you, a sphere of influence built on the acknowledgement of God's hand in your life. With time, people come to understand that your presence carries a mission, that you are here for a purpose far beyond yourself. Those who might once have viewed you as an adversary now see you as someone with a divine calling, someone whose life holds meaning and weight. This recognition shifts the energy around you, creating a level of respect that even the skeptical cannot deny. People may not know the specifics of your purpose, but they feel its power. They sense that your journey is guided by a force greater than their understanding, and this recognition brings them to respect, or even fear, your presence. Your life becomes an embodiment of divine authority, a living reminder that chosen ones walk with purpose, shielded by a protection that serves as a constant reminder of God's presence. As people recognize your purpose, they come to accept that your journey is not theirs to disrupt. They respect the boundaries around you, aware that your path is sacred and guided by divine will. This understanding creates a powerful dynamic, a reminder to anyone who meets you that they are in the presence of someone chosen, someone protected by the hands of God Himself. As a chosen one, you walk this world with an invisible shield that guards your every step. The strength and protection you carry are undeniable, a force that deters and warns those who would stand against you. But to those who still think of crossing that line, remember, God's judgment is swift, His protection certain. Be mindful of this power, and let your enemies be warned that divine justice is ever watchful. Share this message, comment your thoughts, and join in the strength of this truth, knowing that with God's shield, you stand unbreakable.